Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're gonna turn this soup into this. So while you're writing down the recipe, you as well can add a bit of white wine, perfectly would be dry, and a little bit of Pernod, which is a aniseed vermouth, which I did not use for this recipe as I simply did not have it. As well as the whole aromatics and the fish stock, you'll need some white fish, any seafood. I used the pike perch and I used some roasted mussels. So start by preheating your cast iron pot or any deep pan with about 2 tablespoons of neutral oil, which could conduct a high heat. Add all your vegetables and start stirring it so it wouldn't stick to the bottom. Don't worry about the amount of vegetables cooking in the pot, as later on it's gonna stew down. Originally, by the French recipe, you'll be using the actual fish bones from filleting your white fish and the trimmings from your seafood like prawn heads, prawn shells, and the liquid from steaming your mussels. Keep mixing your vegetables and you'll see that after 1 or 2 minutes they're gonna start to really soften up and a little bit brown. So that's gonna be pretty much a good point, at least for me, to add fish trimmings and roasted mussels. Carry on mixing your vegetables and fish for at least another 10 to 15 minutes until the vegetables gonna get even darker, and that's gonna be nearly time to add all of your aromatics together with the tomato paste. I used about 4-5 bay leaves and a sprig of thyme, which later on you're gonna remove before blending the soup. If you want to have a really good aniseedy flavor, you can actually add a little bit of tarragon, and obviously I didn't have, but you should be using Pernod vermouth. Let your vegetables and fish stew and brown for another 10 to 15 minutes, and then you're going to be ready to add your can of chopped tomatoes. As well, what I do, I wash the can with all the leftovers and add it to the stock. Stir all your vegetables and tomato from the bottom of the pan so it wouldn't stick, and everything which was actually stuck to the bottom would dissolve into your really yummy sauce. After 10 to 15 minutes of roasting again, you can add your chopped parsley. I used about 100-150 grams of flat leaf parsley. Add all of your stock. I used about 2 liters of stock. You can use a bit more if you want a slightly more runny soup. As well, I used about a good pinch of saffron. Stir it well, make sure nothing is stuck to the bottom. You can close the lid and leave it for about 35 to 45 minutes. After 45 minutes, you're gonna end up with this dark red looking goodness ready to blend. For blending the soup, I'm using a thermal mixer. You can use any hand blender of some sorts, because later on anyway you're gonna be passing it through the sieve to achieve a more refined texture. If you're using a Thermomix, I set it up on the highest possible speed on about 70 degrees Celsius for 6 to 7 minutes. After you finish blending, you can pass it through the sieve and add it to your pot for adjusting. My soup required some acidity, so I added a squeeze of lemon juice, and as well I added a little bit of butter to get a little bit more rich texture, as well as of a pinch of cayenne pepper. And now we are ready to plate. So for the final plating, we're going to be using a deep bowl, and we're going to pan fry the pike, and we're going to roast the mussels. Roasted mussels, we just can get yourself frozen mussels and add them to the baking tray in the oven for about half an hour on 200 degrees Celsius with a bit of oil and salt until they're going to be crispy. As well, we're going to be using some fennel fans, and we're gonna finish everything with the sourdough toast on top with the rouille, which is French sauce containing of mayonnaise base with boiled eggs and saffron. If you like the video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you into the next one.